Do you write your workouts in a Excel sheet and then put them on Modify?
Yeah. So I have.
Fuck.
So I do.
It takes forever.
I have an Excel sheet where I'll program the whole entire strength, and then I make metcons based off of those strengths, and then I'll plug them into another spreadsheet where I'll make warm-ups. I'll make a warm-up and I'll make extra credit some days, and then I'll transfer over there. So then I'll have like a whole week I just go. So I click on the day, and I go boom, warm-up, strength, metcon, extra credit, or stretches. Boom.
That sucks. Also, we just need to start this, guys. What the fuck? Look at this video. Who thought this was a good fucking idea? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Don't do this at your gym. Have you seen this?
What is it? Oh yeah, I've seen that.
What the hell?
Andrew sent that to me.
What is wrong? Don't do that. CrossFit already has not the best name ever.
I'll have to download that video and put it on there so it's clear for people to see.
Oh, okay.
Where's that from?
I can clip grab it. I don't know. It's just on Barstool Sports. That's one of the ones I've seen.
Did they put CrossFit in it too?
Yeah, they put Death by CrossFit.
That's clever.
That's fucking good.
That's like someone at Barstool that knows CrossFit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Okay.
So what are you talking about today, dude?
Welcome everyone to the podcast Unbroken episode
9?
I think it's 8.
8?
It might be 9.
Well, we do 2 a week, so this could be 9. I don't know.
I think we started on a Tuesday though.
Going up. Going up on a Tuesday? What is it? Got my girl and she too. Got the club going up
on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. All right. We're going to be talking about why you need to stick to your program and don't be an idiot. So Hudson, you started at a gym. They had consistent programming. I don't know if there was a method to their madness, but what was your first program that you started that was like an 8-week program or a barbell program? Like it was for something specific.
So at the first gym I started at, they had a legit strength program. They had it was like a spreadsheet. It was like, okay, during the fundamentals you found your 1 rep max, which I don't necessarily agree with anymore. Yeah, it was funny. Obviously, like I think they, from what I understand, is they'd stop you before like your technique would really falter. So like it's very technique based 1 rep max. Right. But then they'd have it like a spreadsheet. Like, all right, this is your back squat, this is your bench press, this is your deadlift. Boom. Every Monday is back squat. Every Tuesday is bench press. Every Wednesday is front squats. So that was kind of structured. But otherwise, I didn't really start anything structured until the first competitive program we started was what? Invictus? I think it was the first thing.
Well, I did the muscle gain challenge. That was the first one that I started.
Barbell shrugged.
Yeah. Did you do any of that with me or no?
You were done with it by the time I knew you.
Okay, so the thing that I did after that was I got a coach from Invictus. Mm-hmm. So you followed me with my coaching program. So you were following my program essentially with me.
Kind of. I did the Invictus blog online. I still have all the papers. I'd print out every single paper and I'd write next to it what I did for that day.
So, but you would jump in with my workouts too,
I
right?
do your stuff every now and then.
Yeah, okay. So Invictus was the first one that you did. Mm-hmm. So I see a lot of people, not only at our gym, but everywhere online. It's so tempting to like scroll through Instagram and see somebody really strong and they're like, oh, I'm doing brute strength. And then you're like, man, I haven't PR'd in a while. This person looks like they're killing it. I'm going to do brute strength. And then
you see them do accessory pieces or something like you're like, whoa, we never did that in my
that looks cool. Yeah. And then you'll like jump to that. So do you think it's important to stick with the same program or should you switch it up as many times as possible in the day?
Constantly varied, right?
Constantly varied, yeah, right?
Exactly. Got to keep it fresh. Obviously, like, there has to be a minimum amount of time frame you're willing to commit to something to see if it's going to get you progress. Like, whether you are doing... So take it back to like the most basic person, like whether you're doing like the normal CrossFit class, like if your goal is just to be fit and hit a
GPP.
PR hit a PR every now and then, like you don't really care, you just want to like look good, feel good, all that kind of stuff, then obviously like if your normal class workouts are doing that for you, cool. But if your goal is to like really push it and become competitive, that's when you want to start like looking at the possibility of doing something on the side. So the next step, I guess, how most people do it or how I did it was like you do like a blog, you do like a general program that's meant for like a competitive athlete, and then
or any specific goal. I mean, like not specific athlete, but I'm just like sticking to a training program. Period. How important is that? Not competitive, not barbell. If you're doing a gymnastics program,
so you need to stick to it for at least like 4, 8, 12 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
You need to commit to it in a certain time frame so you can see like, okay, is it getting me to where I want to go, or would it be like a short period? Like, hey, this is an 8-week gymnastics program. Okay, do a whole 8 weeks and then see if it works for you.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, maybe consider something different. But if it does, okay, maybe I'll do the next phase of their programs, whether it be gymnastics, whatever.
Yeah. So what I see is people want instant gratification. That's the world we live in now. They're like, I want this and I want it now. Boom, now I have it. Whereas with fitness, with health, nutrition, I mean, that's what we're going to talk about here. But literally everything in life. If you want something, you have to stick to a program and or see if the program works. And the only way to do that is like staying consistent. And I see, poor Onyx, I see so many people, they see something they like, so they start doing it. So this is Invictus blog, and they see Misfits doing a cool Metcon, and they're like, I want to do Misfits now, and then they throw this away. And then they do it for 2 weeks, and then they never see any gains anywhere, you know? Or they do a program for 3 weeks, and it's a 12-week program. They're like, my clean and jerk sucks still. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the worst thing that you could possibly do.
And some people like adapt differently. Like, for example, I never deadlift, and my deadlift will always be strong and it'll always go up.
Fuck off, dude.
Yeah,
right?
I'm always be a naturally good deadlifter. Like the other day, I was doing back squats at 90%. Like, they were heavy, but it wasn't bad. I was able to do it after like only doing back squats past 3 weeks prior because I was doing something different beforehand. Like I wasn't really following the back squat program to a T. So it's like, there's things that I'll always be good at. So if I post to people like, oh my God, he's always crushing the back squats on
and he's doing Misfits.
Yeah,
I'm going to follow Misfits when it's like, that's not really what that program was like. That's not the direction it was going. You're just really good at this.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm more tempted to highlight those things because it's things people want to see.
Absolutely. Well, that's a good point. So I see, I mean, we've jumped around from programs, but we'll usually stay fairly consistent when we start a program. I've never done a program less than 6 months.
Okay.
Like I start a program, I do it for at least 6 months. Have we done anything? I mean, the 6-month muscle gain challenge is probably the shortest I've ever been on any one program.
With the programs that you've paid for, do they allow you to do less than 6 months sometimes? I feel like I know some like personal training stuff will force you, like, it's a 6-month commitment.
Right. Hybrid performance method.
That's a 3-month commitment.
That was a 3-month commitment, but
which is good that they do that.
Yeah, that was nice. But I saw increase everything in like 5 weeks of that program. That was sweet.
Plus, it's really different than what you were doing before because you were doing CrossFit before. And now
I was doing injured, so I was doing nothing.
But you went from doing a bunch of like high intensity metcons, like letting your body just like take less strain throughout the day and just crush heavy lifts.
That's true.
It makes sense.
That was freaking awesome. I mean, if I could say anything to anybody who's listening, if you guys watch the podcast, if you are looking to do anything, get better at anything, you need to find
I think he'll get over it.
You want to grab him? Or no?
He'll get over it. Otherwise, he'll keep coming in here and crying.
You need to find a program and stick with it to see if it actually works. Whether it be Invictus, Misfits, hybrid performance method, your gymnastics programming, what's some other people, the hyperfit. Hyperfit was probably the most miserable program I've ever done.
Yeah, it was always gross. Let's
talk about that for a little bit, about how miserable hyperfit was. Was it a good program? Oh yeah. I've never felt stronger in my life. But that's because we did like...
I don't know how we recovered.
Well, I don't think we did. I'm pretty sure we just felt like crap all day, every day.
But like I felt like, I don't know what our times were. That's the thing. A lot of people weren't doing hyperfit, so you couldn't really see how well you were comparing against a lot of the people.
Yeah.
Like, hyperfit was so small that it was just unique against each other. So we always thought like, oh, you did really good or I did really good.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I posted the Misfits blog, I'm like, oh snap,
you can see
half people beat me
athletes.
on every single. Yeah, exactly. I'm just like cream of the barely.
Yeah.
Staying afloat.
Hyperfit was so miserable. It always started with some sort of
on Instagram real quick.
Yeah, let's see.
See, they post. Sometimes they would post their Metcons.
Well, I don't know if anybody else is. I know Jason Carroll was somebody who was doing it pretty often, and he was crushing it. Obviously, he's a games athlete now. But I think he's doing brute strength now, and I think he has like a personal coach.
Ooh, this workout of the day is pretty nasty. 10-minute AMRAP, 3 hang power snatches at 135, 6 overhead squats, 9 burpees over bar. Just like not 10 minutes of nastiness. Well, DT for 5 rounds. It's regular DT? Yeah, regular DT the day before.
Well, Hyperfit programmed an increasing DT before that ended at 235.
Was that Hyperfit or was that Misfits?
That was Hyperfit.
That wasn't when we first started Misfits?
No, that was miserable. I felt cool hitting 235 for like 6 hang power cleans, or was it 9 hang power cleans? I did 8 and then 1 hang power clean and then 6 push jerks. I did unbroken, no big deal.
Yeah, Hyperfit was disgusting. Hyperfit was probably my least favorite programming. I take it back. Hyperfit was really fun. It was a lot of like it was very. I'm trying not to sneeze so hard. It's very like diverse,
but right into the microphone.
Yeah, put it in my nostril to clog it. It was like we did sleds a lot. We did a lot of gymnastic stuff. We did a lot of different. Like there was like 5 pieces a day.
Dude, there was like 10 pieces a day.
Yeah, it was super lengthy. So it was like we did so much stuff. So that kept it kind of fun. Whereas like,
I feel like it was too like we would do the 20-minute EMOM, 5 strict pull-ups, 5 dips. Then the next week it would be the same thing, but it would be a variation. It would be a 10-minute with a vest of 5 and 5, and then it was a 20-minute kipping 5 and 5, and then when you accomplish that, then you do 6, 6, 6. It was like we did the same thing all the time. Then we did 32 round Tabatas, and then push the sled until you hate yourself.
Well, I mean, that's how programs have to be. Like it has to be kind of like that's. I forgot who said this. I hear it all the time. I think like Ben Bergeron might have said it, but it's like, the more competitive you get with CrossFit, the less CrossFit it gets. Because you have to have the structure now. It's like, for example, on the whatever program you're on now, every Monday for the next 8 weeks is going to be back squats. Every Tuesday is going to be snatches.
Right.
Because then after that, you'll see the progress. You might do little variations in the movements, but then after a while, like you'll hit a PR, and then the whole new cycle will change.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense to do like, hey, if you do dips, a bunch of them every single week for X amount of weeks.
Yeah, you're going to crush it. However, I think the part that I enjoy about CrossFit is that you don't necessarily.
Let's see. Oh, she got a dog.
Should we tell the viewers a story?
Sure.
All right. I don't think that.
Well, first off, someone was knocking on my door. Like, did you see what they look like?
No.
It was super sketchy. It was like some super tall ogre-looking dude, and then some tiny little girl with like blue braided hair. That was very awkward. Good thing you were here with me. If they would knock them on myself, I would have freaked out.
Well, I would just what I do. I'm going to have a lesson with Hudson. You don't have to open the door. You can just talk through the door and be like, yeah, this is Eric. And then they'll be like, we're not going to Eric's house.
Yeah.
At our last apartment, where Huddy lived, but his room was the furthest away from the door, we would get random drunk people knocking at the door.
I'll let you tell the story about the person I need to.
I will, yeah. I will tell that one next, because we can talk about whatever we want. But random people would knock at the door. So my wife worked nighttime, so I would just be chilling there by myself, sleepy time, and then like someone would knock on the door at 11. So I go to the door, look through the people, and the first time I opened, I was like, "Why are you at my door at 11 a.m. like 11 p.m. Like, hello? Oh, wrong house. Sorry." Close the door. And then this one really made my butthole pucker. It was like 3 in the morning, and I got woken up like, oh shit. Hey, what's going? Like, hello? And I looked at the people, and I was like, I don't have to open the door to this sketchy person. I went, "You got the wrong house. Like, get the, no, let me in. There's a blah, blah." Like, I'm like, no, what are you doing? You're crazy. Get out of here. That happened pretty often. It was scary. But we were talking about the lady downstairs. My dog came over here, and they were playing with Onyx. You guys know Onyx. He's cute. Canine Onyx.
Yeah, if you don't, follow my dog. Onyx.
And they were like jumping around playing. It was 6 p.m. It wasn't late. It was still light outside. They were just playing ball, running around. The lady came up from downstairs and was like, "Excuse me, you guys are making too much noise. I have family over, etc." And I was like, I answered the door. Huddy and Tessa were hanging out. And I was like...
It was like 6 p.m. in the afternoon?
Yeah, it was 6 p.m.
On a Saturday?
It was 6 p.m., like any day, 6 p.m. And she was like, "You guys are making too much noise." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't know what you want me to do. My dogs are playing. It's not a big deal." "Well, it sounds like you guys are stomping and blah, blah, blah." And I said, "Look, my dogs are inside. They're just playing for a little bit. It's not a big deal." Well, blah. So Huddy's a nice guy. I'm not very nice. He comes to the door and he's like, "Hey, you can, if it happens again, let us know. You can close the door." But anyway, now the lady downstairs has a dog that barks all the time, so she doesn't come up here and complain no more. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if she's at home and the dog's barking, or is the dog's like tied up in a cage or something and barking. I'm pretty sure she doesn't leave the dog alone by itself.
No.
The dog has no discipline. The dog would probably wreck her house, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's like a little teeny dog this big. It's like 8 pounds and it's all white and fluffy.
yeah, people these days.
Yeah. All right. So moral of the story: don't open your door.
Don't open your door, dude.
Yeah.
You don't have
ever.
to.
Yeah. They don't have a key to your house. They don't need to be in your house.
Mom, you don't have a key? Get out of here.
Yeah. I'll see you later when I come over.
Yeah, exactly. But a structured program. So we were talking about hyperfit, how the sleds really sucked. Oh, so what we were talking about was, I don't think necessarily it doesn't have to be dips and pull-ups, dips and pull-ups, dips and pull-ups. It's like you can do different accessory pieces to work those same muscles. eat and in like a different variation. Like why it doesn't have to be the same thing every single time, like progressive overload.
I agree.
Which is why I've never done comptrain, but you look at it, it seems pretty like they have consistent days, etc. But it doesn't look like they always have like different named workouts. I don't know. It looks fun. And same with Misfits. Like Misfits has progression to it. Yeah, we'll do back squats and this, but like the way that we exercise would be different for, like getting better at push jerks, getting better at split jerks. Like there's other accessory pieces that we can do.
Yeah, like obviously, like we barely ever bench. We bench like maybe like once every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, but we strong at bench.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we do dips, we do burpees, we do a bunch of other like pressing variations to where like our bench will still stay the same. So yeah, you can do all these variations of movements to get better at one thing. But like at the end of the day, if you want to get better at pull-ups, in my eyes, the best way to do is do more pull-ups.
Right.
Like, but that's not the end all be all. And then obviously, because of the sport of CrossFit, you want to be diverse at all these different things. So if you just want to get a heavier bench and you bench, then you're missing out on the opportunity to do more burpees and more of these dips and other things like that.
Yeah.
So, but going to like back to the original question of like how often to stay consistent, it's like trusting in it. When you commit to a program, I would just say like, okay, I'm going to do this for at least, unless if it doesn't already say like, hey, you're paying for the next 3 months to do this. I'm going to do this for at least a month, hit it hard, let your dog cry while you're doing the programming. But hit it hard for a month and then see where it progresses, see if anything changes. If it doesn't, if it maybe degresses, and then consider doing something different. But
Is it good? Dude.
You have to get over it.
Oh my goodness. All right. I wonder if you can you guys hear Onyx? He's just crying.
Probably not, because we have the
crying.
mics.
Okay, good. Because we have him tied in a cage. No, I'm just kidding. He's in the room eating peanut butter. Like, he should chill.
Nah, he's probably done with it now.
Yeah. I don't have too much more about, stick to the program. There's not much to talk about. It's do the program, stay consistent, stop looking at other people's progress and thinking that it's because of the program. It's because they've been consistent, they've been disciplined with the program, and they're following something over a long period of time. You can follow any program and you're going to see results. I think that's people's biggest issue is they want results immediately. So if they don't find it from this program, they try this program, this, and then they go through everything and they go, nothing works for me. You're not different. Pretty much 99% of people are the same. There's people that might have some issues getting better and on a specific program or nutrition, but generally speaking, you eat enough food, you follow a program, you get better. Mm-hmm. The 1% might need some special nutrition, might need to stay away from specific programming, and maybe they're not going to see so much progress. But yeah, it's not hard, guys.
But one thing about finding versus doing all these different ones and thinking that none of them work for you, and saving all that time of trying to try all of them, something that you probably would do that's really good at networking is go to hashtag brute strength, find people that are on there that near your level and say, hey, how do you like the program? What is it? What have been your weaknesses? Yeah. What do you got better at? And they're hey, Misfits people.
Well, we both do that.
Yeah,
we've both reached out. We've put questions out on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Hey, what programming do you like? And then we'll look at the athletes that are on the programming, how long they've been on the program, what things that they've done while being on the program, where they came from, what did they do before, what did they do after.
Yeah, if you DM anyone and say, hey, you're really strong, how'd you get there? I've been doing
fuck blah, off. Blah. Yeah.
How dare you ask
me how you ask that I'm doing well. Most people will respond. When people ask me how Misfits was going, I told them this is what I've gotten out of Misfits for me personally. This is what I've gotten out of Invictus for me. Well, that's actually a good thing. So let's kind of go through each program and what you got out of it mostly when we were doing it. Are you down?
No.
You're not down?
Calling it here, I'm done.
Calling it. Okay, see you guys Tuesday. We'll start with Invictus because we both started that together. I think on Invictus, I was the most gymnasty.
So, do you want to talk about Invictus or Invictus athlete?
Well, we didn't do Invictus Athlete that much. I just remember being demolished. Invictus Athlete
we did for 3 or 4 months, then we called it.
It was the hardest, most, I didn't feel I got that much better at. The volume was too much and I wasn't eating enough food.
Yeah, so there's one guy that I follow on Instagram. I can't remember, he's Australian, I can't remember his his Instagram name is notorious, and I can't remember, he went to the games last year. He's a super badass athlete.
He's a sick hunt?
Yeah, but we can't make money off this episode, dude. Ugh. Yeah, that 2 cents we made. But like he posts he'll like randomly his Instagram story post like his sessions, like he'll post on the whiteboard like session number 3, session number 4. But it's like one session is like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 deadlifts, a 9-minute AMRAP, and then some accessory gymnastics. I'm like, I mean, you say you do 4 sessions, but you could have done that in 2 sessions really if you wanted to. Whereas when we did Invictus Athlete for a while, it was like a 3 or 4 hour session. Eat as much food as you can, take a nap, another 3 or 4 hour session.
Yeah.
But we'll just talk as Invictus as a whole.
Okay.
Like, so let's not really talk about that.
Okay, so Invictus on a whole, I remember being really consistent at lifting. Like, I'm not going to miss.
Almost every day it would start with a strength piece.
It would start with an EMOM of some sort of accessory to a weightlifting movement. So like a muscle snatch or a fucking whale noises. And then it would go into some sort of Metcon or strength. Like this was weightlifting, then some strength, and then gymnastics and shit. Anyway, I felt like I was not going to ever miss lifts, and I got stronger at lifting, and I was gymnasty AF, like 50 chest to bars unbroken any day of the week.
I feel like they would do a lot of, were they the ones that did a lot of 15-minute EMOMs? Yeah, I think Invictus is the one that did that. I want to say Invictus was like once a week to throw in like a 15-minute EMOM of like 3 different stations.
Oh yeah.
I really like those a lot.
Every 3 minutes, every 5 minutes, they do. Yeah. They love that.
They love the triple. They love triples. Yeah. Like they love the 3 movement variation of like a barbell, like a thruster, a gymnastics piece, and like burpees or calories, something like that. Yeah. So it's such a CrossFit type metcon that they'd always produce. Whereas like some days, like I feel like I was thinking about this the other day. Like some programs would like program like miles and miles of running, which is very useful, especially when it comes to like when they throw in their programming because some of their athletes going to regionals or they're going to the games. Where like I feel nowadays like programs are getting smaller and smaller with their metcons, and the goal is always intensity. Whereas some coaches will vary on with how important they think longer endurance pieces or short endurance pieces. But I feel like nowadays it's like always like crush your soul, because that's what's needed, especially when it comes to the first step, which is the open. Yeah. Like you have to be able to have that. It doesn't matter how long you can row on the rower at a certain pace if you cannot
make it
hit
to
the gap
first step.
Yeah, exactly.
However, I think the bad thinking about that is like you need to build your aerobic base in order to be able to hang on to that much volume.
It's like building muscle. It's like building muscle to get stronger. You can get so strong, you have to build more muscle to get stronger again.
And I think people miss that, because they go from like they did their normal classes for a few weeks and then they go straight into competitive programming. And if the competitive programming doesn't program like aerobic, long, and get you ready for the volume, it's like you missed a huge piece that you should be doing.
And so here's another thing too. Like Misfits, we've been showing Misfits a lot.
Let's talk about Misfits now.
But one thing before we can get to it, like Misfits has protocols. So Misfits are like, oh, you suck at muscle ups? Here's a muscle up protocol. Here's a chest bar protocol. Here's like a whatever protocol. And it's like a lot of competitive programs, from my experience, they don't give you modifications. They don't give you scales. They might like on a blog or like on a video.
Well, Invictus had like if you're strong or if you need cardio, like they would do those 2 things all the time.
But it wasn't like you don't have muscle ups. How do you like? What if I start doing Invictus tomorrow? Yeah. I don't have muscle ups. I don't have handstand walks. Like you need to either learn how to do that on your own.
That's true. Yeah.
Or like have a coach help you. Like a lot of the competitive programs like assume like you've learned the basics through your gym, which you should, and then from there you can move on. I think when I started Invictus with you, I had a few muscle ups. I had muscle ups. I had handstands. I had handstand walks.
We weren't limited on the movements that we had to do.
Yeah, we limited on the weights.
Yeah, just the weights.
We were tiny.
All right, so let's talk about Misfits. So honestly, Misfits is one of the only programs that I've like severely injured myself. So that's kind of, I don't want to talk bad about it because it does good for people, but I got injured twice pretty bad doing Misfit programming. And I warm up, I mobilize. I've done it with friends. Like it just didn't work very well for me, the things that they did. I've felt like I kind of took a step back from doing Invictus and then going to Misfits. That's just my honest opinion on it. If people don't like it, that's just for me.
We didn't go from Invictus to Misfits. We went Invictus to hyperfit.
Right. But that's just me. I mean, the dudes there are awesome. The athletes that they have are awesome. It just didn't really work well for me. I felt like I got really good at burpees, and and that's not too much else.
on the other hand, like I haven't been into doing Misfits, whereas like...
And you PR'd your deadlift 500 pounds.
Misfits has been helpful for me because I think they do program a lot of intervals, like rowing intervals, which I suck at, which I don't remember Invictus programming any intervals. Just like very grunty type pieces. I don't remember that.
I just remember hour-long pieces from them.
Like long CrossFit pieces, but not like straight up just like monostructural stuff, not much. And then I lost what I was about to say. With Misfits, I felt fine when I was doing Invictus, and it was getting to the point where like it was heavy squats all the time. I wanted to cry.
Yeah, your
squats
knees were broken.
So I just drove up to Murrieta, where my dad lives. There and back, I was fine. Doing that drive a couple years ago, I would literally need to like get out of my car every 20 minutes and stop and stretch. Otherwise, my knees would be like throbbing and like aching so bad.
We couldn't go to the movies.
I couldn't go to the movies because I'd have to be like, no, wait, what movie are we going to? What time? No, I can't go. Well, A, because I'm probably going to fall asleep. B, because my
knees hurt
the angle
so bad.
of having my legs hang and it's like the weight pulling from my feet.
He's so short, his feet don't touch the ground at the movie theater.
That's why we got to go to the recliners now so my feet can relax.
Exactly.
Even then, sometimes like the angle of it, based on how my thigh and my shin is, it's like if it's an extreme enough angle, it does sound happy. But now it's been better because I've been stretching, do my 90 days of ROM-WOD, and all we freaking do is hips and saddle pose. So
you felt crushed on Invictus and you enjoy Misfits. I had a good time on Invictus and I got destroyed on Misfits.
So with that being said, then why did we stop doing Invictus?
We stopped doing Invictus because I had a personal coach from Invictus, and it just I was a broke college student. I was going to school full time. I just no longer could afford it. Like I was slowly going into debt trying to continue this. And I told Huddy, I'm like, look, dude, I can't afford this anymore. Let's just try doing the blog. And then at that time, right when I had quit from having a personal coach, they started this thing called the Invictus Athlete, which ended up being like $40 a month for each of us or something. So we decided to try that. And it just didn't work for us. It was too much. We didn't have enough time in the day. Like we were coaching 40 hours a week, and I was going to school full time. It just didn't work. And then that's when we started. What did we start after that? Then I moved. Did we do that? Invictus, after Invictus Athlete, I moved down to San Diego, right?
When we started Hyperfit.
So we started
around that time.
Yeah, we started Hyperfit because we were lost for a little bit. After Invictus Athlete, we didn't know what to do. I remember because we did GHD Annie and then over at Squats the next day because we were just doing whatever we wanted. Don't do GHD Annie. It's the stupidest idea ever.
Annie is fine by itself.
Holy
Annie's a good workout.
Yeah.
There's like
unless
Cindy,
you want Rhabdo.
Yeah, there's like Cindy and then weighted Cindy and then other versions of like Cindy, but like Annie is the one workout you don't mess with. Don't make it GHD. Don't make it toes to bar. That would destroy you.
Yeah. So then after that, a buddy of ours named Russ Buss, that's his real name.
Oh, yeah, Russell's doing it too. That's right.
Russell was doing Hyperfit, and we asked him about it. So I signed into his account and we started doing Hyperfit. So
I forgot he was doing
on Hyperfit. I have never gotten to a day of any programming that's like find a new 1 rep max and felt confident that I was going to PR, except Hyperfit. Hyperfit was like find a new max, and I'm like, yeah, okay, PR'd by like 15 pounds. But all the grunt work and just everything about Hyperfit was just brutal.
I feel like Hyperfit is not doable for the average person in the sense of like they like having enough time to recover, make sure you're eating. Like if you're like a dad that just wants to do competitive programming now and then, just to say like a little extra fit and like maybe there's like normal competitions here and there like around town. Like I think it's like it's so much. Unless you were to like pick and choose what your weaknesses are for the day. But then again, for that, it's hard for a lot of people. Like I'm doing that now, I was doing that now with Misfits, where I was like, oh, I don't need a back squat. I'm a good back squatter. I'm gonna do squat cleans instead or something like that. But then it was to the point where I was like, well, I mean, yeah, I'm really good at back. That's probably my strength. But I mean, I still
need to work on
I still
back
get better
squats.
at it. Yeah, I'm not the best at back squats.
Yeah,
if I
you're
had
not
a world
gonna beat
record,
Matt Fraser at back squats.
Yeah, if I had a world record, then maybe. But otherwise, like I still need back squats. So now I'm just like, follow it to a T. If I have extra time, or I feel like I'm not getting enough throughout the week, then I'll do extra credit. I have like my gym down the garage where I can do some accessory pieces and stuff too. So I'm making sure I just follow that to a T and don't leave any doubt that like who's messing up. Are they messing up because they're not giving me what I need, or am I messing up because I'm messing up the program?
Right.
So I just felt it was a big mistake for me. So going back to my last statement where I said Hyperfit, pick and choose. I mean, Hyperfit is for like select few athletes.
Yeah. Well, Hyperfit has like you want to be GPP, you want to be competitive, you want to be a games athlete. So they have different tiers.
What
we were
were we doing?
We were doing the games athlete version.
Well, shit, man.
Yeah, we didn't make it to the games, but we did.
We want our money back.
I've never felt stronger. Well, we just used Russell's account. We never paid for it.
He was regional athlete at the time.
Yeah, he was a regional athlete. But I've never felt stronger, but I felt like my handstand push-ups got really, really bad. My pulling it was okay. But I didn't feel gymnastic on that program. I felt like a weightlifter.
We did a lot of strict stuff.
Yeah.
It was so much strict stuff. Yeah, I remember that.
So and then after hyperfit, we started Misfits.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we started Misfits. We already talked about Misfits. And then after getting injured, I tried the Marcus Philly program for 12 weeks. I stuck with it, got stronger, core felt strong, started getting back into being a little bit more competitive, jumped back onto Misfits, went to Granite Games, got injured, started the hybrid performance method to try to get some strength and some core work back. I loved the programming. Once I felt good, started misfitting again, hurt myself again, and I was like, I'm tired of this. I want to be competitive, and I'm running out of years. So I hired a personal coach, which I've been with for 3 months, almost 4 months, and that's probably been the best decision. Like, I wish that I can go back in time and tell my younger self, hey, find a way to be able to continue to pay for your personal coach, because they're going to program exactly what you need, work on your weaknesses, and you'll get a lot further. So if you guys are serious about programming and or getting better, find a coach that's going to program for you. Like, there's literally no better way. And they've got to be knowledgeable, though. Don't just hire your coach from your gym because he's cool.
I've had some people on Constantly Varied Fitness that'll DM me and say, how much for a personal training?
Wow.
And in my head, I'm like, I think I'm fairly good at like making a group class GPP type setting. I don't know about like training up, like, oh, you suck at running, like just modality interval work and things like that. Like, okay, you suck at like certain areas. Like, I feel like I'm good at creating a full, well-rounded GPP program. And I want to end on, now that we talked about all the programs we've done, it's like, if your gym should be able to still get you fit. Like,
yeah, there's people at our gym that did the open and they even beat us at some workouts.
Yeah, or like, yeah, exactly. Then there's some people that do, they still hit their PRs. Like, unless if your goal is you want to like be the fittest at your gym, like, there's no need to do a different program. The gym that you should be going to should have a well thought out program to help you get better at all the things you want to improve, like the GPP of faster, stronger, move better, gymnastic stuff, and like just be well-rounded, not just be super strength-biased. Like, it's fun. It's so crazy to me. I think I mentioned this in an earlier podcast how one person dropped into our gym. I've had it actually happened to me a couple times now. People will drop in, they'll say like, "Oh, we're doing snatches today." I'm like, "Yeah." Like, have you done snatches? And they're like, "Yeah, we don't do them very often. Like, maybe like once a month." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. How do you go to a CrossFit gym and not do snatches?
You're doing a glorified boot camp.
Yeah.
They don't want to teach the nasty stuff. They just want to program 20, 30-minute AMRAPs of like, hey guys, we're doing wall balls and air squats, like other gyms that we've originated from.
Yeah.
Like, it's like super simple, like no skill, just like get really sweaty, which some days are good. Some days like, hey, let's work on
let's slow
coordination,
it down.
Stability. Yeah, all this different stuff that is needed for CrossFit. So it's like in the pyramid of fitness, GPP like is the bread and butter.
Nutrition.
Yeah. So GPP and nutrition will share one. They can weave together. But then even below that, because I thought about this week, below that should be
aerobic.
I think it should be part of the GPP. Like, I don't know how to phrase, like body health, like moving for health. Yeah, I want to be well conditioned and better, but it's like if my program's doing that, but then it's kind of running me into the wall, and then all of a sudden, boom, my shoulder gives out on me, or my back's tweaked, and it's all for nothing. So it's like nowadays I've been programming a lot of like superset stuff. I've been programming more like session movements of like bird dogs. I've been throwing in a lot of your quadruped stuff. It's like trying to make sure that people are moving healthy, because nothing grinds my gears as a coach like more than when someone says like, oh yeah, my shoulder's been hurting past week. I'm like, now you want to tell me shoulder
after we did 50 snatches for time.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
Or like someone will drop into our gym again, and then like I always ask people like, hey, how's the body? How's it doing? It's like, oh, my knees kind of hurt, and like we're just starting to get ready to warm up for back squats. I'm like, you were gonna back squat just because you don't want to say anything? I'm like, I feel like maybe some gyms are so strict on their programming, and where I've definitely gotten better in the past few months of like, you just want to come in and get sweaty and you want to just get healthier. That's the whole goal. If you don't want to do certain movements, I don't care what movements you do as long as we get you what you want. So Yeah, like as long as your programming is getting you there, it's keeping you healthy. You don't feel beat up doing an hour of fitness. That should include a warm up, stretches, a cool down. Like then, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
That should be the staple.
What was I gonna say? Public service announcement, guys. Your coach doesn't know everything, but if you can tell them something that's bugging you, they can probably point you in the right direction. Like if my shoulder's hurting, a chiropractor is good, but a physical therapist might be better, and maybe they know one. Here in San Diego, we've got Movement RX. Sponsor our video, Movement RX. Teresa, I love you. Chiropractor. We have a chiropractor next to us. My back feels weird. My knees.
Fixed Body. Sean, sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly. So don't let those things be nagging pains. Just know, however, if you don't take care of them, you don't stretch, you don't do your stability exercises, like things are going to start not working correctly. It's just like a car. You buy a brand new car, and if all you do is put gas in it, but you never change the oil, never change the filters, like it's going to start breaking down. So
yeah, just what you're most able to do in an hour class isn't enough for your health.
Yeah.
Like I've tried it. It's so like one thing that I've tried to get good at now that I've been programming for a little while is like building a good class structure of like how the whole class needs to go, and then trying to leave a little bit of time for people to stretch. If not, at the end of each day now I add stretches like, hey guys, here are the stretches I recommend you do.
Yeah.
And I always shout out people after the class like, hey guys, hit this, hit that.
Don't leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally finish sprinting. Okay, see ya.
Yeah. They come Thursday, my shoulders are still sore from Monday. I'm like, well, yeah, you
what do
go
you
home
expect?
and you go straight to sleep after just killing yourself. If you're going to bed still sweaty from the workout, well, I mean, like you shower, but
first off, if you do CrossFit and then get in your bed without showering, that's disgusting.
I do that sometimes.
Oh, I
just wash my sheets the next
Actually,
day.
funny story, guys. Sometimes Hudson would sleep on the floor because he was so tired from the gym and he didn't want to shower.
I've done that a few times.
He used to do that. He doesn't.
Well, I actually like sleeping on the floor. Though.
Now that he has a girlfriend, he doesn't really do it.
I used to take naps on the floor. I like just laying on the floor. Was it? Like my mattress sucks so bad, I would rather sleep on the floor.
I would get. So I was the worst roommate ever. Hudson would be at home, and I'd get home, and I'd like kick his door. I'd be like, "What's up?" And he'd be like laying on the floor with his pillow and his blanket on the ground. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't feel like taking a shower." I'm like, well, "That's disgusting. You did like 2 workouts today, and you coached."
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
When's the last time you did that? Have you done that here?
No, I've not taken a shower, but not even laid on the floor. I'll just dirty the mattress and just wash the sheets the next day. But it's like sometimes I'll come home.
Don't you stink?
Sometimes I'll come home and I'll like chill on the couch, like watch TV and eat dinner, and it's like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to take a shower.
I have never had that feeling in my life. I cannot fall asleep without showering.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm not a dirty person. I'll shower in the morning, but yeah, that's happened. Happens probably once a month.
That's so funny. Also, Russell, if you watch this video, you made my couch stink. We had a buddy, Russ, that would come home from the gym and then lay on the couch because that was his bed.
Immediately after.
Yeah, immediately. He made my pillow smell like ass. He slept on my couch for 40 days, but now he lives in San Diego, so it's okay.
All right,
It was worth it.
Moral of the story for this episode.
Yeah.
A, don't open the door for strangers.
2.
Make sure you find a good program that works for you.
C, make sure you stick to your program, be consistent. And 4,
stretch after your freaking workout, dude.
Boom.
If you don't stretch, you're gonna get injured.
And E, make sure you take a shower before you go to bed. Because that's disgusting.
E is the optional answer. It goes A, B, C, D. E.
No, it goes A, 2, C, 4, E.
E. Roman numeral 5.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, thanks you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. It helps us out a lot. Subscribe, follow us on Instagram, all that good stuff. Let us know if you guys want us to talk about anything in particular on our next episode.
Actually, we're meeting Casey on
next episode.
Tuesday.
We're meeting with a prior
collegiate swimmer, then was a freaking savage, ate normal, then went vegan, now does CrossFit and is vegan. So it's going to be pretty interesting seeing how her nutrition was while she was a collegiate athlete, and now that she's a vegan and trying to be doing good at CrossFit, you know, like she doesn't just do the CrossFit classes, she wants to be good and know all the movements and perform. So, yeah.
Cool. Get ready next week or this week.
Bye, Felicia.
Wednesday.